plaything can you offer me today?
The planet Earth.
What's happening?
It's an attack.
Pathetic earthlings! Who can save you now?
Flash! They'll kill you!
Let's all team up and fight him.
Prepare for torture!
I want him.
Stop it now!
Flash, I love you! But we only have 14 hours to save the Earth.
Flash Gordon is still alive.
Gordon's alive? Yes!
Must be my lucky day.
Hey up, it's Steve from the old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to Magnificent Mondays, my show where I just look at my favourite films, and this is another one, Flash Gordon. I've not got that one. I haven't got the 4K. I had to make do with this vanilla Blu-ray. Boo. All it's got on this is a director's commentary, and that's not even that good. Bloody rubbish. We'll have to get that 4K box set, because apparently it's got lots of super goodies. Right. So, I think everybody's seen Flash Gordon. Surely they have, haven't they? At least once. And if you haven't, why? It's an amazing film. I remember this coming out when I was a kid. I think I was 13 when this came out. Rushed to the cinema to see it. It was amazing. And the big thing about it when I was a kid, that one of the actors in it was Peter Duncan, who was one of the presenters on popular British kids TV show at the time, Blue Peter. But anyway, that's by the by. It doesn't last long in it. He plays the what they call him? What they call him now? Prince Baron. What are they called now that live there? The Arborians, the Tree Men, whatever they call them. He plays one of them. That dies pretty quickly. Right, so anyway, some stats about the film before we start. Oh, I know, before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos. Drop a comment if you're in the chat. Wingrace is here already. It says, no steel book, her lol, face blue wide eyes. What does that look like in the chat? Oh, there we go. Yeah. It's not updating this for some reason. Did it? There we go. No, I haven't got any steel books, I don't think. I don't think I've got a single steel book, either DVD or Blu-ray or anything. I don't think I have. Maybe I've got a Cloverfield steel book, but not deliberately. I think I just saw it in a second-hand shop, I think. I could be wrong. Anyway, so no, I've not got the steel book. I don't see the fascination with them, to be completely honest. I don't know, but anyway. Where were we? Oh, yes, we're live on YouTube. So let me double check. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. We're live on Twitch. What else? I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description, as are links to my 2 books. They're down, whatever. They're down there. I can't get them. What else have we got? Oh, yes, I've got a Patreon. So let's chuck my Patreon thing there. I've only got one patron still. I'm doing a new video tomorrow. So I'll be uploading a new video to my Patreon tomorrow. I'm going to be watching, it's part of my Magical Monochrome series. I'm going to be watching Killers from Space, which should be fun. Right. Oh, what am I doing? I'm pressing the wrong buttons again. I'm an idiot. There we go. I've no idea what I'm doing. And that's Mitch Frey saying, he'll save every one of us. Yes, he will. Or he'll... Oh, I forgot the bloody words now. He'll save with the mighty hand. Every man, every woman, every child is a mighty Flash. That's the fella. It's a great film. I love it. Right. Anyway, starring Flash Gordon, 1980. A Dino De Laurentiis production, directed by Mike Hodges, whose other most famous film is Get Carter, but I bet he gets asked about Flash Gordon more, but he's probably more proud of Get Carter. Written, the screenplay was by Lorenzo Semple Jr., who's famous for doing a lot of the 60s Batman TV series, and you can see the similarities. They're both pretty campy and boisterous storylines that we used to see there. What else? Star Sam J. Jones, who hasn't been in a lot really, has he, since this? He's popped up in Stargate. He's popped up in in the other things as well. But like I says, Flash Gordon's his big thing that he's done. He were in Ted, wasn't he? as Flash freaking Gordon. Melody Anderson as Dale Arden, who's lovely, and I've met her. Hang on, let me just to prove that I've met her. Are you ready? Hang on. There we go. There we go. That's me with Melody Anderson at DaleCon 4 in Rochdale in the UK a few years ago. Yes, I've got a Flash T-shirt on there, which I've put away somewhere and I couldn't find it. But I'd actually ordered a new Flash Gordon T-shirt from Zavi, and it still hasn't arrived. It's been weeks and it still hasn't arrived. But anyway, never mind. So there she is. Sam Jones were there as well, but I didn't get a photo with him. I don't know why. But she offered, and she was lovely. But we had a great time there. How do I get rid of this now? There we go. Wingrace is saying, camp it, give 87 examples. Yeah, just watch the film. Right. Where were we? Oh, right, we're going through the film, weren't we? Melody Anderson, yes, as Dale Arden. Max von Sydow as, is it Sydow? Sydow? Whatever. Sydow as... Emperor Ming, the Merciless, Topol, the late Topol, he died quite recently, hasn't he? As Dr. Zarkov, Ornella Muti as Princess Aura, Timothy Dalton as Prince Baron, Mariangela Malato as General Carla, Brian Blessed as Prince Vulton. Is he Prince or King Vulton? I think he's a prince into Prince Vulton. Peter Wingard as Clytus in an amazing role, and they wouldn't let him take his mask off. Apparently, there's a scene in the film where he dies, and he asks the director, "Can I take my mask off so you can at least see my face?" And the director said, "No, you can't." So they just had his eyeballs coming out. We'll get to that. And there we go, down at the bottom. Peter Duncan as the random tree man that dies. Obviously, music by Queen. And with orchestrations by Howard Blake, really amazing score. Got the album, obviously. What else? It had a budget of $20 to $27 million, and its box office was $46.5 million. So I suppose it did okay back in the day. But it's more of a, I wouldn't call it a cult film, but it's. But anyway, Wingrace saying, Sam J. Jones was in The Spirit. I assume that won't be appearing on your Monday shows. No, it won't. I don't think I've even seen it. I don't think I have. Anyway, right. So is that it? Right. So let's get on with the film then, shall we? Obviously, not be playing it because that would get me into all sorts of trouble with YouTube. So we'll go through it. The series of stills might play the odd snippy whippet. Right, off we go. Right, let's full screen this bugger and we'll get on with it. I'm sure I forgot something. I'm sure I forgot something. I'm trying to think. Let's have a look. By the way, it's still really hot here, so if I'm still sweating, it's supposed to be cooler tomorrow. I bloody hope so. I'm sick of this heat. Anyway, right, make myself titsy tiny. Right. And add to stage. Ba-dum. There we go. Right, off we go. Oh, for God's sake. It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? Right, so anyway, there we go. Never mind that. Ignore that. Right. So we begin. My favorite logo, as I say every time. Hang on. Also, is in the sequel, in a sequel to Flight of the Navigator. I didn't even know there was a sequel to Flight of the Navigator. So we share that thing. It's a documentary. Oh, right. Oh, I've seen seen the documentary about Flight of the Navigator because the main character kind of got into trouble, didn't he? The actor that played the kid had a lot of personal problems, didn't he? I think he ended up in prison or something, didn't he? Or something like that, with drugs and all that. It's a good documentary. I forgot what they call it now. Something like After the Navigator or something like that. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Right. So where were we? Right. So Universal logo, my favourite one. So we begin. We see the planet Earth. There we go. An obscure body in the SK system. The inhabitants call it. So anyway, so Ming's doing his wicked things. He's sending earthquakes and eruptions and all this stuff and hot hail to terrorize the planet Earth. We find out why later on. But anyway, so this is Clytus and the Emperor Ming speaking to each other. And Clytus asks, "Will you destroy this Earth?" He says, "Later. I like to play with things a while before annihilation." And then we get Queen singing away. Cool. There we go. Sam Jones. And we get panels from the original comic or comic strips that by Alex Raymond from back in the 30s. And apparently they said in the commentary these kind of tell the story of the film. Not really. They kind of do, but not really. But we see Flash. We see the main characters and a rocket ship. That's about as far as it goes. We're showing the devastation that Ming is wreaking on Earth. It looks because it's doing that. It's zooming in and it just keeps pausing on it. There we go. Hopefully it'll be better next time. All of the nerve. Is that Princess Aura and that's Dale Arden, is it? I don't know. Right, volcanoes erupting. Oh, Brian Blessed as Prince Vulcan. And Peter Wingard's Clyde. Blah, 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 blah. Right, Richard O'Brien in this of Rocky Horror fame. He wrote the Rocky Horror Show, which became the Rocky Horror Picture Show, didn't it? He was also presented a British family game show called The Crystal Maze for a while. Anyway. Right, we're nearly there. Some hawkmen. Dino the Horrendous. Right, we begin. The only location part of this film. The rest of it was shot in studios. This is in Scotland, apparently. It's supposed to be somewhere called Dark Harbour. We don't know where that's supposed to be. But there we see Flash reading the newspaper. Is that the right way up? When I was watching it earlier on, I thought, is he reading that newspaper upside down? Probably. Because the director, Mike Hodges, in the commentary says, Flash is supposed to be a bit thick. That's how he described him. He's not supposed to be this, genius strategist or anything. He's just a bit of muscle, isn't he? Just to beat the bad guy. In the end, Zarkov's the brains, isn't he? Anyway, so waiting there. We're getting pounded with hot hail. There we see Robbie Coltrane there in a very early role of his. He doesn't speak. He's just there to look out of a window and open a plane door, as we'll see in a minute. Here comes Dale Arden in a minute. Here she comes. That apparently is Mike Hodges' driver that brought him to work. Right, so they're getting on this aeroplane. There's Robbie Coltrane again. Obviously, everybody knows him as Hagrid from Harry Potter, but was also Cracker. TV series called Cracker in the UK. And other stuff. It's been in the Young Ones. Right, the late Robbie Coltrane. Sorry, hey, they're getting on the plane. There he is. Fastens the door. And that's the last we see of poor Robbie Coltrane. So they set off they go. And Dale Arden, we see as the plane. Let me mute this because I forgot to mute it. as we see the plane fly over, we see some fragments of moon rock plop into this water. There we go. At first, I thought that was the hot ale, but no, the hot ale was the white stuff, wasn't it? That was a fragment of moon rock. Anyway, the pilots are all very excited. They've got Flash Gordon on their plane because he's a super famous football star, quarterback from the New York Jets. I can't remember what he did. You know, the original Buster Crab series. What was he in that? I can't actually remember. Does it say, or is he just there? Is he just the character Flash Gordon, and we never know what he does? And he goes to Mongo. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so they're all excited, and they hit some turbulence, and Flash asks, if everything's all right. So says, yeah, it's fine. So go, there you go. Would you like to autograph this for my kid, Mr. Gordon? He says, yeah, what's his name? And he says, Buzz. Then I always thought it'd be funny if this other pilot, or the co-pilot or whatever, said to him, hey, Buzz, what's this? But they don't. Anyway, right, so Dale's very nervous in aeroplanes. She doesn't like flying, but she's a travel agent, apparently. Hang on, there we go. Win Grace educating us again. Flash Gordon was a Yale graduate and a well-known polo player in the comic, I guess. All right. Is that what we did? I presume we did the same in the old Buster Crab serials. Dun, 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 dun. I used to love them when I was a kid. They used to show them on the BBC, the old Buster Crab ones. Back in the day when I was a kid and we didn't have much good sci-fi on telly. Like I said, we had Doctor Who, The Tomorrow People, and Star Trek, and that was about it, really. So to see, a bit of Buster Crab and Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers was a treat. And they'd often show them as like little movies as well, not serialized, like 20-minute episodes. They'd like stick them all together as a movie, which were cool. I think they're all on YouTube now, anyway. Anyways, where were we? She's nervous, so Flash says, just a little turbulence. We learn he's taking flying lessons, and we learn that they're interested in each other. She knows who he is because he's Flash Gordon, obviously, but he's interested in her because he asked about her at the hotel. But she's super nervous. But then something happens to the sky, and see out there it goes, starts turning red. He's trying to explain, but then we learn that something's up, and she goes, "What's happening, Flash?" And then we cut to Dr. Zarkov's lab, which is in a greenhouse for some reason. I've no idea why. But it's a cool. Well, it's a model, is that, isn't it? But and then this is Dr. Zarkov's assistant. I forgot his bloody name now. I'll have to look that up. I've forgotten his name. Where are we? Munson. That's it. Obviously, Munson, played by William Hootkins, who we know as Porkins from Star Wars. The fella at the end of Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. What else has he been in? I've seen him in something else as well, and it's slipped my mind. Can't remember. Anyway, yes, that's Munson getting some moon rock landing on his bed. So he puts that out. Then he says to there you go. Tells Dr. Zarkov, there's no sun. It's 8:24 in the morning, and there's no sun. He goes, check the angular vector of the moon. And so they find out that the moon's out of orbit by almost 11 degrees, and it's caused an unexpected solar eclipse. And the fella on the news is talking about it and saying that NASA says there's no cause for alarm. But anyway, Zarkov says, I've been right all these years. He knows it's an attack. And there we go, talking about the fragments of moon rock. Our moon must be being subjected to an enormous force from space, some kind of energy beam. Yes, the moon out of orbit. What is this? Space 1999. Yes, yeah. It's the anniversary soon, isn't it? I know we've had a big anniversary today of a very sad event, but 2 days' time, it's the anniversary of the moon being blown out of orbit, isn't it? September 13th, 1999. love Space 1999. Anyway, so it realizes that the moon is, it's not a natural event. He's realized that, and that could spell doom for the Earth. So he's going to go up in his rocket that he's built, his rocket ship. They have rocket ships, don't they, in Flash Gordon? Going to go up in his rocket ship and counterattack. And but Munson doesn't want to go, and who can blame him, really? I wouldn't want to either. And he's built it so that he can't fly it himself. I don't know why. He's got a red. We find out he's got a red pedal that somebody else has got to sit in front of and press this red pedal down. Why didn't he put the red pedal where he sat doing the controls? I don't know. Obviously, he's not that much of a genius, is he? Anyway, so Munson runs away, and Zarkov pulls a gun on him, tells him to get his stuff, and Munson just runs off. Meanwhile, back on Flash's plane, so everything's going haywire, and then for some reason, I've never understood this bit. See if we can land on it. They get attacked by Emperor Ming himself. I don't understand this bit. It's going to show us. Here we go. Oh, they're going to land the plane, by the way. So they start the landing cycle, I think. Here we go. Here comes Emperor Ming himself, look. And takes the pilots. I don't know what he's done, but I've never understood that bit. Anyway. So what was Emperor Ming's interest in that plane? Was it because Flash was on board? Or was it because Dale Arden was on board? I don't know. But anyway, the pilots have gone, so they've got to land the plane themselves, which they do. Here we go. So they're coming in for a landing, and they smash through. Luckily, they land near Dr. Zarkov's lab. They land in Dr. Zarkov's lab. But Munson's hiding in whatever is growing. The tobacco plants or something. I've no idea what Zarkov's growing there. But Munson's hiding in there, and Zarkov's threatening to kill him. I don't think he would have done. I don't think he was going to. But he goes running out, but then the plane's sliding towards the greenhouse, and Munson comes running in, away from the plane, and I think he gets killed here. I think they squash him with the plane, because he, as we see here, there we go. I suspect he's been squashed to death there, but nobody seems to care. Poor Munson. Hashtag justice for Munson, that's what I say. Anyway, so they get out of there before she blows, and this hatch in the top of the plane, they didn't know how they were going to get out of the plane when they filmed this scene. And Mike Hodges says, "Oh, just cut a hatch in the top of the thing. It'll do." So that's what they did. There's Zarkov watching them, and they get out of the plane. They're all happy. And that's it. No more flying. And then Zarkov pops out and asks if they're all right. And he says, he tells them if they like to use the phone, it's in there, i.e., it's in the rocket. Obviously, a big phone booth. So they go in and look for the phone in there. And but Zarkov's got his crew now. He doesn't need Munson, who's, I presume, is squashed under the plane. I presume. Flash says, "Where's the telephone?" Because he's a bright spark. He doesn't miss anything. And Dale says she recognises him as Dr. Hans Zarkov. She's a journalist. Oh, no, she's not a journalist. What I'm talking about. She's a travel agent, isn't she? I've been watching this film all these years thinking, oh, she's a journalist. She knows all about him. But she's a travel agent in this, isn't she? Never mind. Was she a journalist in the Buster Crab ones? I don't know. Anyway, right. So she knows who he is anyway. And so he comes in and says, Dale has to stay on board and keep her foot on that red pedal because she's lighter. So, less fuel will be needed. And he tells Flash to leave and tell the world what Dr. Zarkov has done. And he says, I'll just be going now. And so they have a little, there we go. I'll be running along now. And they have a little fight. And Zarkov gets knocked into the launch button. The ship starts taking off, so they've got to strap in. And reminds them to put his foot on the red pedal or the G-forces will kill us all. I don't know what the red pedal does. I don't know. But it'll stop them from getting killed by the G-forces. Only takes, was it 3 Gs or something to get into orbit? I don't know. Anyway, so they're on the way now. They're taking off. And then we get some cool Queen music again. As they're flying through space, and some nice effect shots. People moan about the effects in this film, and yeah, a lot of them are a bit duff, but this one's pretty good. I quite like that one. A bit of hot stage in there. Zarkov's ship. I say nothing wrong with that whatsoever, in my opinion. That looks cool. Anyway, so they're flying towards. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. So they're flying towards the Imperial Vortex, or whatever the hell they call it. What are all these? What are all these planets? I presume that one's Earth. It looks earthy, doesn't it? What are all these? When did the solar system become so packed with planets? Don't know. Anyway, so they're heading towards the vortex of Mongo or whatever. I don't know. I think it was just another planet, wasn't it? In originally, but for some reason they've got a black hole that they have to go through, which is fine. So they're heading in there, and obviously the Imperial Mongo. I wish they picked a different name. People detect the rocket's approach. Here we are. I think this is John Hollis, who played Lobot in Empire Strikes Back. He's saying a ship's approaching. So they're going to take control of it. By the way, all the cloud effects were done with like inks and paints and stuff, oils and stuff like that in water. Filmed at high speed, and obviously slowed down and stuff. And it looks cool. It looks cool, particularly that bit. I don't know. Show us it again. Come on, show us. There we go. I think that looks cool. Does that? Is it something? Looks probably something played in reverse. Maybe they injected something in and it made it a bit of oil and water or whatever, and it made it expand, and they just played it in reverse. And it looks like something closing behind them, doesn't it? I think it's cool. Yes, I agree. It looks cooler than 99% of CG. Yes, because it's real, isn't it? You know, it's actually there. It's real, filmed with a camera. Anyway, so here they come. And she's getting all sweaty for some reason. I don't know why. But that's fine. There we go. All right, life forms on board are approximate Mong scale 3. I'm sorry, but it's hilarious. It was hilarious when I was 13. Not so much now, because I'm more mature now and I don't laugh at stuff like that. But anyway. So they take control of the rocket and bring it in. There we go, as it says there. Bring it through safely, land it. By the way, I've met Peter Wingard as well. I forgot I meant to look that up. When he passed away, I think he's passed away. Peter Wingard. Yes. When did he pass away? Just give me a minute. I met him, and I think it wasn't very long. Yes, 2018 when he passed away. I think I met him in 2016, maybe. Or could have even been 2017. At a convention, you know, and he looked really frail. He was really, really frail. His signature, you could hardly tell it was his signature. It was just a scrawl, but it was sharp. You could see in his eyes, his mind was still sharp, but his body were giving in on him, and quite sad. But I was in Stargate soldier, you know, cosplay. So I had me. I didn't have me P90 at that time. I don't think I had another big gun. But it says, "Are you going to war?" So anyway, but yes, that one nice. I met Peter Wingard. Obviously, most famous for being what's it? Oh, tell my brain. Jason Thingamabob, wasn't it, in that series that I never watched because it was before my time. Anyway, right. So the rocket's coming in for a landing. They land it, luckily, just by this entrance to the city. the Imperial City. It comes in now. That's it. Nothing wrong with that. So the soldiers, the Ming soldiers appear, start looking round, and so they get out of the rocket ship, and this Mike Hodges describes these as pig men. I think because of the things that they got on the face. Oh, pardon me. Oh, sorry, Wingrace. That's unfortunate. I met a couple of celebs shortly before they went out too. It sticks with you. Yes, it does. I met Mira Furlan as well, not long before she died. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a jinx. At a convention. She was lovely as well. Got her autograph. Then, I said, another a year or two later, she passed away, didn't she? But maybe it's me. I'm the kiss of death or something. Anyway, right. So Flash tries to make friends with them. We're from Earth friends, and they get him with some sort of robot hand that flips him over. It does a nice little. There you go. Does that himself. Nice little stunt. There we go. And they get another. Dun, dun, dun. Next thing, they're in an elevator going up somewhere in the city with one of the pigmen there and these guards with the like cool skull-like faces. There we go. Zarkov says we should be able to reason with them, and Dale says, "Wanna bet?" So anyway, so they're brought into the palace. Now you see a big bust of Ming. At the end, it gets graffitied on. If you notice it at the end, I think there's another one on the other side. But anyway, the big sets. The production designer I've forgotten. Hang on, let me look. Production design. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. I've forgotten. Daniello Donato, I think. Let me just check. Yes, God, that was well, I was close. Danilo Donati. I was close. And Mike Hodges kept complaining about him as well, because according to Mike Hodges, he'd get a description of, it's the sets and stuff he'd to build or whatever. And rather than just say to Mike Hodges, the director, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Is that okay? He just build it because he liked what he designed, and he just build it. And apparently Dino De Laurentiis had come in and said, "This is amazing." And then Mike Hodges had said, "Yeah, but you haven't left any room for me to put my cameras and lights and stuff like that." But they worked it out. In the end. Right, so they've arrived in this big ornate area. You see some big guns and stuff because it's a military state. Oh, it says there, it's more like a police state. And then they're met by this floating ball that talks to them. I don't know who does the voice, but to follow them to the presence of Emperor Ming. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a frog. I don't know. A floating frog with spikes. Maybe it's because of them eyes. I don't know. But there they are. That's on the back of the is it? I think that's on the back of the album. Either that one or when Flash is going, "Yeah," at the end. Spoilers. There we see one of the lizard men, a lizard man trying to escape. There's another weird design. It's obviously just a man in a green suit, but instead of giving him where his eyes would normally be, his face is in his mouth for some reason. I've no idea why. But this robot just zaps him. I go, beep. I go, "Halt, lizard man." And then it zaps him. And then Zarkov says, if all else fails, he's still got the gun in his pocket, but not for long, because it tells him to halt. And the thing comes down and zaps his gun in the pocket. There we go. Now he hasn't even got the gun. Anyway, so now they're getting into the throne room now, with more elaborate costumes. Who did the costumes? I'm going to have to look that up as well now, aren't I? Costumes designed by Danilo Donati as well. So as well as the production design, it did the costumes as well. I think it's a he. Let's have a look. I'm saying he. I'm sure they said he in the thing. Yes, he. He was a costume designer. Oh, he died in 2001. Oh dear. But he did a good job on this film. Anyway, so they're heading into the throne room with all the people from all the different moons of Mongo. I think in the Buster Crab series, it was just like different areas of Mongo, wasn't it? Different like countries on Mongo, but in this, they're like moons of Mongo. That don't look a lot like moons. They look all weird, aren't they? It's very, it's not very scientific. it's a fantasy. Anyway, so there's all these different representatives from all the different places. I'm guessing maybe they're from Phrygia. I don't know, possibly. There's Clytus, the great Peter Wingard. There's Prince Vultan of the Hawkmen, having an almost a set to with the I think these are the Lion Men. I think Prince Thun was the only leader of the Lion Men, wasn't he? I think that's what they are. So in comes our heroes. Enter stage right, they're left, our right. And then Ming emerges with the cool music. Do 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 do. That, you know what I mean. So here he comes, the great Max von Sydow. Here he is. They're all hailing Ming, hail Ming, hail, ruler of the universe. And there's his daughter, Princess Aura, played by the astonishingly gorgeous Ornella Muti. Isn't it Muti? I don't know. Here she is. And here we go. Clytus says, the tributes of the Hawkmen will be first. Here he comes now. He's got the fabled ice jewel of Phrygia, which he's taken in battle from the royal crypt. There you go. But then Prince Barin arrives. They are from Phrygia, these ones over here. I wonder what they're thinking about all this. Anyway, never mind. But Prince Barin arrives now of Arboria, saying that the ice jewel was their tribute and not Vultan's. So they're going to have a fight now. And Clytus tells them to set down their weapons because nobody dies in the royal presence without a command from the Emperor. And it doesn't say anything. I'd have thought he'd have said, let them fight, but it doesn't. They basically get away with it. They just say, hail Ming, and that's it. So I suppose they share that tribute, maybe. But Vultan doesn't want to step down, and he gets threatened with the life of his daughter. So anyway, so he moves on. Now the tributes from Ardentia. All right, this is Prince Thun of the Lion Men. Well, you may recognise. Hang on, but apparently they've done something wrong, and Ming's blasted their kingdom for whatever reason. So they haven't got anything to give except his loyalty. By the way, these in the background. One of them, I don't know which one, is Kenny Baker, R2D2, and various Ewoks, I think. One of them, I don't know which one, but one of them's Kenny Baker. This fella, you may recognise. Oh, God, what's he been in? I've just bloody looked it up. I've forgotten already. Captain Katanga from Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's who this chap is. I'm sorry I've forgotten his name. Look it up. I'll look it up. My brain's not working again. Does it say? Come on, Prince Thun, where are you? Not showing us. Bear with me. Bear with me. Professional, me. I'm a professional. Come on, where are you? There's a lot of people in this film. A lot of people in this film. Prince Thun, where are you? It's not showing us, is it? I've seen it somewhere. Why is it not showing? Anyway, he plays. Why isn't it showing it? Oh, it's getting me mad, is that? He plays Captain Katanga in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's been in something else as well, but it's. I'm blanking. Come on, where are you, Prince Thun? Ken Sickland plays Atreeman, according to IMDb. Oh, dear. Oh, here we go. Just says Prince of Ardentia. I think it's Prince Thun. George Harris. Right, so let's have a look. What else were he in? Apart from Raiders of the Lost Ark, he were in something else as well, but I'm blanking on it. Oh, yeah, Harry Potter. Yes, he played Kingsley Shacklebolt in Harry Potter. Yes, that's what else I've seen him. He's also been in Layer Cake and probably loads of other stuff. Yeah, he has. Yeah, but stuff I've not seen. But that's his most famous things: Harry Potter and Indiana and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Right, where were we? So they can offer nothing but their loyalty. So Ming orders him to fall on his sword. If his loyalty is so great, he should be prepared to kill himself for his emperor. So he looks as though he's prepared to do that. There we go. May this deed of Prince Thun be an example to all the kingdoms of Mongo. You ready? Switcheroo. The robot knows what's going to happen, doesn't it? Pew! Death to Ming, and it freezes him, but not very well, as we see. He can't move. Maybe it's not frozen him, but he can't move. But obviously, he's moving. Look, you can see him moving. He's not frozen solid. He's just immobile, I suppose. So Ming takes his sword out of his hand and runs him through. And they're all shocked. I don't know what everybody's shocked for, but maybe it's just the callousness of Emperor Ming. So they take away his body. And then Flash whispers, "This Ming's a psycho." But the robot hears him and repeats it for everybody. They say, "Who said that?" Excuse me. And they can see Prince Thun had blue blood because obviously he's a prince. I don't think there's any red. Well, no, yes, there is. All the people on Mongo, I don't think any of their blood's red. Apart from Baron, he's got red blood. I think. Yes, he has. But I think most of those have different colours, like green and blue and black and all that. Right, so where were we? So who said that? The fair-haired prisoner. So they bring him forth. There's some more lizard men. The crowd seems to have thinned out a bit now, doesn't it? Well, this filmed on a different day. They didn't have as many extras. But, we've got to look at Ornella Muti for a moment. By Jove. And she's got Deep Roy on the lead, who she calls Fellini. We'll see in a minute. More scantily clad ladies in the background there. Here you go. She says, "Come along, Fellini." There we go. Obviously named after the famous Italian director. Obviously, she's caught Flash's eye, and Dale reminds him, don't forget about me. So they're obviously an item already, Dale and Flash. Right, so that's true who they are. So he's Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets. Don't mention Yale, win Grace. Dear. He's even got his own, T-shirt, his own branding he takes with him. And Dale Arden introduces herself, and then Dr. Zarkov introduces himself, saying, he kidnapped them from Earth in a bid to save their planet. And Clytus reminds Ming, that it's the obscure body in the SK system that has been giving you such amusement recently. So Zarkov asks, why do they attack? And Ming just says, why not? But he does have his reasons. But at the moment, he just says, why not? Pathetic earthlings hurling your bodies out into the void without the slightest inkling of who or what is out there. If you had any nature, any true, I don't know, whatever. There you go. If you knew anything about the true nature of the universe, you would hide from it in terror. Which is probably true, actually. I bet that. But when we finally get out there, we'll find out that it's absolutely terrifying, and we'll come running back home. Probably. Anyways, obviously he's interested in Dale Arden, so he seduces her. The seduction of Dale Arden with his magic ring, so to speak. And there we go. So she does a dance for him, obviously under his control. And apparently she's great response, even more than his daughter. So he's obviously done this to his own daughter. So slightly incestuous underpinnings there, isn't there? So anyway, so she's dancing away. Then it ends, and she says, "Well, what happened?" And I don't know, but it was sensational. So anyway, so they're going to remove the Earth Woman, and I think the other two are. I don't, that says, well, prepare her for our pleasure. That's what he says, doesn't he? So there you go. So here these footballers come in. Don't know they're dressed like that for mental. And so Flash is going to, there we go. Forget it, Ming. Dale's with me. And then the Roger Taylor song "Football Fight" starts. That's my interpretation of it. So we have an impromptu football match, American football, obviously, not proper football. Yeah. American football match with Flash and these soldiers. And so they start knocking them with these like Fabergé eggs, and Vultan's tripping some of them up, and like I say, he's doing well. And there you go. Ming asks Clytus if his men are on the right pills. Maybe you should execute their trainer. There you go. So anyway, Flash looks to be doing quite well. Oh, there's Deep Roy. It is Deep Roy, isn't it? That's his name, isn't it? So this is Dale Arden being a cheerleader. I tell you, it's corny, isn't it? Corny. But it's brilliant. Brilliant corn. So Flash is playing football. There you go. Knocking them, rolling them through them, knocking them about. Pardon me. Throwing the Fabergé eggs at them. And but then it all goes wrong because Zarkov throws one at Flash and knocks him out. Dung. There we go. The end of that. Says this one has defied us before our subjects. He should be executed immediately. So, but Princess Aura doesn't want that to happen. She says, "No, don't kill him. I want him." But he says, "No, your what's the word? Appetites are too dangerous." So he refuses. So Flash is going to be executed. Zarkov's going off to be reprogrammed by the secret police, and Dale's going to be become Ming's concubine. But anyway, there you go. Deliver the scientist to General Clytus for conditioning. This one has defied us before our subjects. We order him disposed of tonight by public execution. Right, so there we go. And then we cut straight to no messing about. We cut straight to the execution area, which is a little dome with a chair in it. They're going to gas him to death. But obviously, Aura's got other plans. So she tells Baron to rocket back to Arboria. She'll meet him there. She's got a surprise for him. And he calls her a lying bitch. So it's a very a peculiar relationship. But anyway, then we cut to the dungeon, I suppose, and Flash has got this contraption on his head. Clytus comes in and says, "Hey, you refused your last meal. The chef will be upset. Tell him to go to hell." He says, "It's probably just as well. I hear the gas works more quickly on an empty stomach." But then he wants to see Dale. He said, "Do you have any last requests?" He says, "Let me see Dale." Oh dear, how pathetic. Yes, I anticipated that. Bring her in. So anyway, got until the sands run out. So he turns it over so that the sand's running up because it's magic. Anyway, bring in the Emperor's concubine. There we go. And you've got until the sands run out, so it's running up. just to show us how amazing the effect is. They've got a fella hanging the right way up there. Right, so he calls him pathetic again, and then exits and leaves them alone. Oh, and he zaps the helmet off so he can see him. So this is where they're falling in love even more, because they're saying, it's all a bad dream, and you wake up in Dark Harbour, and we'll have a laugh about this. But then she says, "What if it isn't a dream?" Says, "Well, then you and Zarkov will find a way to save the Earth and use the rocket to get you back and all that." Blah blah blah. She can't cope, but she can't turn over the sands of what they call them, hourglass. The hourglass can't turn it over. But anyway, the time has come for his execution. So they're all dressed in black. So kind of showing the respects, I suppose. But they come in with drums and that, and they lead him in. For some reason, I don't know why, but she reminds me. I presume it's a she. Reminds me of Kate Bush. I don't know why. I just get that just pops in my head every time I see this character, whoever it is. I don't know who that is either. Next to her, I presume it's a she. It looks like a she, doesn't it? I'm not presuming her pronouns or their whatever. Oh, it is. It's a she. Anyway, so they bring in Flash in, and there he is in his tight leather underplugs. But and there's the Imperial surgeon or whatever. He's overseeing the execution, and we learn that he and Aura are having a fling. Clytus has been spying on her, and she says, "Clytus wants me for himself." She says, "He's always making up lies." There we go. Clytus's agents, by the way, are they wear like gold masks as well. I think we see a couple of them in the background. I think they're his agents. I think, I could be wrong. Anyway, so they put him in the chamber, and the doctor. Oh, and before that, we see Dale's crying, obviously. And then Aura says, "Look, water is leaking from her eyes." And Ming says, "It's what they call tears. It's a sign of their weakness," which is actually a plot point that we come back to later on. Right, so they put a hood on him. The doctor injects him with something and says, "This will help you on your way." And then they execute him. A yellow gas comes up, and another bit of music from Queen. Ding, 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 ding. And it's all like, "Oh, Flash, Flash." But he doesn't get saved at the last minute. Is done. But they've gone to the trouble of making him a nice headstone, haven't they? With his, his branding and stuff. They must have just guessed what the Gordon bit were like. I mean, they've only seen his T-shirt, haven't they? So they've extrapolated what the rest of his name had looked like in that style. So he's got a nice headstone. Earthling executed by Ming. So here he is in his, I suppose it's a sarcophagus. Mike Hodges in the commentary called it something else, and I could never figure out what he was saying, because this stupid Blu-ray doesn't have any subtitles, either on the film or on the commentary, and I couldn't work out what he said, what this were called. He doesn't call it a sarcophagus or a coffin or whatever. He gives it some other name, and I could never figure out what he said. Anyway, so these I think these are some of Clytus's like spies and stuff scurrying about. And they run away and hide in these little alcoves, but they're watching. And Aura arrives with the doctor, and she uses a ray gun ring or something to open it. And then we see him in his underplugs, and the doctor revives him, and he says, "Meet me on some moon or whatever, next week." And she says, "I can hardly wait." And he kisses her, and it's like she's going to throw up in his mouth or something. But but anyway. Do you know what letter it started with? I can't remember. It might have been C, but I've forgotten. It was this afternoon when I watched it. I can't remember that far back. I can't remember. Anyway, there might be a subtitle file somewhere on the internet of the commentary, for all I know. I don't know. But anyway. So anyway, the revive Flash. The doctor sods off. the revived Flash. She kisses him, and then he wakes up. Now she's telling him with a kiss. She saved him with a kiss, and she brought him some clothes. And he said, don't worry, I won't look. But then she obviously does, because nobody on Mongo, does. Hang on, hang on, let's have a look. Catafalque. It could be. That sounds familiar. Could be that. I've never heard of it. It could be that. So is that like another word for a sarcophagus? Could be. See, you got me looking it up now. A decorated wooden framework supporting the coffin of a distinguished person during a funeral or while lying in state. All right, yeah, it probably was that then, catafalque. Right. Or catafalque, I don't know how you pronounce it. So, yes, I told you, Windgrace knows all. He does. Anyway, right. Now we've got that sorted out. Because this comes back again, by the way. The catafalque, now we know what it's called, is used again later on. I think they use the same thing when the spoilers later, when they're torturing Aura, she's on top of it. They just used it again. Right, anyway, right. So she's sneaking Flash out of the city. Got some nice togs and a scarf. Don't know what the scarf's for, but never mind. It looks cool. Oh, there she sees. He sees Zarkov in this room, and she lies to him. She says they're just conditioning him to our climate, but that's obviously not true, because we learn what they're going to do now. They're going to erase his mind. They're going to empty his mind, as one would empty your pockets, Doctor. Anyway, but before that, we learn why Ming is doing what he does. He says every 1,000 years, he tests every life system in the universe. He visits it with mysteries, earthquakes, unpredicted eclipses, strange craters in the wilderness. And if they're taken as natural, he considers them harmless and he spares them. But if the Emperor Ming is identified as the cause of any of these, he considers that planet to be a threat, and so he calls upon the great god Daizan, and for his greater glory and our mutual pleasure, they destroy it utterly. So, and then Zarkov says, "So it's my fault Earth is being destroyed." He says, "Precisely, Doctor." So anyway, there you go. So I've just said it all. I don't know what I could have just gone through it like that, couldn't I? But never mind. I had to act it out. Anyway, so now they decide they're going to erase his memory or empty his mind. I said, please don't. I've spent my whole life trying to fill it. But here she comes in. This is Mariangelo Malato, who were in another film, apparently, that's quite famous. It got remade, but I forgot what it was called. But anyway. There we go. We're going to empty your memory as we might empty your pockets, Doctor. She looks at him. She's got a great face and a great voice as well. There we go. Doctor. I better make sure we're not getting copyright struck. Oh, crikey. Oh, no, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Hey, just move that along. Just bear with me. I'm just sorting things out. Right, where were we? Right, so he's begging not to empty his mind, but they're going to do it anyway. So Clytus leaves Carla in charge. There's like a suggestion that they're in some sort of relationship as well. But he says, don't reprogram his mind, but don't fill him with anything more than level 3, I think he says, or something like that. So don't think the human mind could cope. And then as soon as he's gone, she says, reprogram to level 6 or whatever. Because she's evil. But they're emptying his mind first. So they're taking out his memories. There we go. Space scientist fired. Oh, I ain't gone yet. Yes, because we're going to see some, German people from the 1930s with a certain symbol. We're going to see Clytus say, he showed promise. Anyway, no, they were seeing Zarkov's wife apparently drowned. So he's reliving all these memories. We see a lot of owls in this imagery, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Wise owls, maybe, I don't know. Or is it to do with alien abductions? I don't know. And we see he goes back to his birth. There he says, Papa. Right, so they've emptied his mind. It goes back to him. We see him in a fetus form. So Clytus has got to go, and he says, "Can you manage without me?" He says, "Yeah, of course can." So begin to reprogram. Continue to level 6, and so that's what they do. They reprogram into level 6. Right. So they've got on a rocket now of Aura and Flash, and they're on the way to Arboria, and she's teaching him how to fly the ship, and she's kind of seducing him at the same time. There you go. Not kind of. She's just seducing him, which is not a bad thing. There you go. This is the planet Aquaria. I thought they were on moons. Well, she says every moon of Mongo is a kingdom, but she calls that the planet Aquaria. As I said, it's not very scientifically sound, but it doesn't look much like a planet, does it? Looks what's left of a planet or a moon. Anyway, I suppose in the Imperial Vortex, it's different physics in it, I suppose. And they're taking a left turn over Phrygia, the next moon rising. There we go. Anyway, she's going to think to Barin to tell him that they're on the way. And we talk about every moon of Mongo is a kingdom, and Ming keeps them all fighting. It's a brilliant strategy, she says. So the none of them trust each other. And so Flash says, "Why don't they team up and fight him?" And she says, "What does that mean? Team up." So there we go. Right, we're back in the city. Dale Arden's been dressed in flashy clothes, and they bring her this drink. It's from the Galaxy of Pleasure. There you go. And many brave men died to bring it here. I wonder if they were Bothans. And she says, "Will it help me forget, or will it make me forget?" She says, "No, but it'll make you not mind remembering." So it's booze, basically, isn't it? But, so she drinks that, and well, that's right. So Dale's gonna think it's a telepathy machine. She's gonna think to Barin to tell him to expect them. And Flash says, "Can I call Dale on this?" And he says, "Yeah, if I showed you, but I'm not going to show you." So Flash says, "Right, I'll show you then." And then he starts to crash the ship into Phrygia. Let's look at those eyes. They're amazing, aren't they? So there he goes. He's going to crash the ship into Phrygia. And he pulls up at the last minute, and she says, "Okay, I'll show you." So he starts thinking to Dale. And but obviously she's a bit drunk now, and she thinks it's the booze. But then it is Flash. But while he's thinking to her, Aura's seducing him again. And anyway, he tells Dale that he's been saved and he's on his way to Arboria to get help. And then he's thinking, "Oh, this girl's really turning me on." And you hear this beep, 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 beep. And so she says, "What?" Does Dale says, "Sorry, I wasn't thinking about you." Anyway, so the hang up because somebody's coming. That's it. The hang up because somebody's coming. And it's Danielle. Oh, what's her name now? Suzanne Danielle. That's it. Suzanne Danielle arrives. She was a famous British model and actress in the 70s and early 80s. Did a lot of TV and game shows, stuff like that. She comes in with more of this elixir from the Galaxy of Pleasure. And Dale says, "You should have some." She said, "No, it's forbidden for us slaves," because she's a great actress. But he says, "No, she just gives her some." And so I think she gives her a lot. and she swaps clothes with her, as we see in a minute. Right, here we're thinking that Dr. Zarkov's been reprogrammed now. So he says, "What is your name?" Hans Zarkov. Agent Zarkov. There we go. Number, I don't know, whatever, of the Imperial Secret Police, whatever. Hail Ming. So they're fair enough. That'll do for us. So they leave him to his devices. Right, they're heading to Arboria now. Here we are. Cool, I suppose. You know, as I said, it's not very scientific. It's a forest in a big cup of rock. So they're coming flying through the huge forest. It's like Endor on steroids, isn't it? And apparently the big sets that they built for the actors that are walking about and stuff. Not this. This is obviously a model, isn't it? That's obviously a model, but the actual set that they built for the Tree Men segments. It was another case of Danilo Donati just building what he what impressed himself, and these huge trees and stuff. He said the trees. Mike Hodges said, like the one tree that was like nearly as big as the studio itself, and Mike Hodges says, "Yeah, but I can't get any establishing shots or anything. It's just there, and there's no room for the cameras and stuff." But they had to cope, and it says they got round it in like post production, using matte paintings and stuff and all that. But anyway, right, so they've arrived at Arboria. Meanwhile, Ming is arrived. He's going to have his wicked way with Dale Arden now. So here he is. He's getting ready to seduce his concubine. But then we find out it's actually Suzanne Danielle. I'm sure she's got a name. Has she got a name? No, it just says serving girl. Oh, right. Never mind. Does it say it on IMDb? Suzanne Danielle. Come on, where are you? Where are you? There's too many people in this film. Should be near the top because she did get a credit in it, because she had quite a big speaking part, didn't she? Where is she? Where is she? There she is. No, it just says serving girl there as well. So she hasn't got a name. Never mind. Anyway, so he finds out it's her. Look, and he goes, "You!" There we go. I'd have thought, well, whatever. Any port in a storm. It's Suzanne Danielle after all. Dale's escaped, dressed as in the serving girl's clothes. And again, this were another example, according to Mike Hodges, of Danilo Donati not thinking about the practicalities of his designs. Because in the script it was saying, Dale Arden fights these pig guards, like not Gomorian guards, but they're called pigmen. Fights these guards, but apparently her outfit were really heavy. It was actually made of metal, apparently, maybe like chainmail or something. I don't know. But apparently, it were really heavy and quite awkward. And the shoes as well were like these high heels that were really hard to walk in. So Mike Hodges just said, "Well, just take your shoes off and carry them around as like an accessory. Keep putting them down." So that's what she did, because she had to fight them. She'd like kicks them and stuff like that. So and doing cartwheels and stuff, didn't she? So that's what she does here. Takes them out, because she's stunning and brave. Dale Arden, she's allowed to. So here we go. So she's also good with a gun as well, a ray gun. Oh, there we go. So anyway, so she does a nice little. I've missed it. Gone too far. Come on. See a cartwheel. These guards are useless. Apparently, they couldn't see in real life that the men wearing them, couldn't see a thing. They were told to point in a certain direction and just hope for the best, I think. So anyway, she's going to do a cartwheel now. Here we go. There we go. There's no idea what he's shooting at. But she gets him. And she goes. Meanwhile, these tracking, where she is. So they dispatch Agent Zarkov. So he's going to intercept her. So off he goes. And the meet. So they're going to. They hope that he's working for them. He's going to lead her to. Well, it's where they learn about Flash still being alive. So there you go. So they've got to unseal the city, let them escape, and they'll lead them to Flash and the co-conspirators. Right. So Emperor Ming is a bit angry now, and he says, "Stop at nothing to find who the traitors are." Obviously, Clytus, he says there, "Have my suspicions." Obviously, he thinks he knows who it is, and he's right. It's order, isn't it? But Ming says, "Stop at nothing." So there we go. So we all know what's going to happen next. There we are. That's another matte painting. It's what they're just dangling the rocket ship in the trees there by vines that they landed in. How bizarre. Anyway, so they're working their way around to the temple. A young man is being initiated. This is Peter Duncan that's been initiated, the Blue Peter presenter from my youth. There he is on the left. Actually does conventions now, and he's got the as we see in a minute in this stump here. There's the beast, or whatever they call it, and he's actually got that model that he takes around to conventions. You can have a photo taken with it and stuff like that. So he's proud of his Flash Gordon appearance, apparently. Anyway, so here we go. He's got to do his initiation. They've got to put their arm in this stump where the creature is, and wood beast. That's it. It's the wood beast, isn't it? So they've got to put their arm in and hope for the best. But he's unlucky, and it gets him. It stings him. It's like got a sting. It's a bit like a scorpion, I suppose, like a green, gooey scorpion. And it stings him, and he thinks he's fine, and then it gets him. Are you ready? Look, it gets him. And so, death is certain, apparently, but not before tortured madness. So it says, "Send me on my way." So Baron just kills him, runs him through with his sword. So that's the end of Peter Duncan. So then Order arrives. He don't care. Look, he just says, "You came," and runs to meet her. Never mind, there's a poor lad there dead. Never mind. It's all in the a day in the life of a tree man. Hey dear. So she says she's got to go back straight away before she's missed. She's bought him a present, and it's Flash. So obviously, Baron's not happy about that. But Aura says, "If you hurt him, you'll never have me again." So you've got to promise not to kill Flash. Right. Oh, crikey. Zarkov and Dale are on a rocket cycle heading out of the city, and ropey effects, but it's fine. They're heading out, and we learned that they didn't reprogram him. They couldn't empty his mind, apparently, because he was just thinking of everything, songs from the Beatles and stuff like that, and they couldn't erase those memories. So they've escaped essentially, but only into the arms of the hawkmen. So they get captured by hawkmen. Meanwhile, Flash, even though he'd promised not to kill Flash, he didn't promise not to dunk him in the swamp, along with the hawkman and a couple of lizard men. But Flash tries to bring him round, saying, Ming is the true enemy. But it says, lower them into the swamp. Oh, pardon me. So they lower them into the icky swamp. Meanwhile, Order's back, and they've arrested her. And now they're torturing her. General Carla's whipping her, and there we go. And asking her questions, and she's, denying everything. And now that was a transition, yeah. Anyway, So, they're asking her these questions, and she doesn't break. She's obviously a strong-willed woman. She doesn't break, and even though they threaten the... oh, no, she does break, doesn't she? She does. They threaten to bring in the boar worms, and they actually do, don't they? Because she says later on that, her father, Ming, allowed Clytus to put the boar worms on her. So she does confess, doesn't she? Because we see a written confession later on. There we go. Bring me the boar worms. And she demands to see her father. So there he is. He's been watching all along and tells him to continue the questioning. Torture, sorry. Continue the torture. He says, no, we shouldn't stop. Right, so, and she says, damn you, father. So she's fallen out with her dad. Right, meanwhile, back on Arboria, Richard O'Brien's playing some sort of flute, and Baron's pacing about and he's angry because of what Aura's done. She's dumped Flash Gordon on him, and obviously he's promised not to kill him, but he's got a plan as Baron and Richard O'Brien. Anyway, so Flash has made friends with this hawkman, even though we never see what happens to him. I suspect he might die, but we never know. The hawkman's, he's weakening. He's saying, I can't hold on, Flash. He says, yes, you can. You've just got to be strong and all that. Meanwhile, Richard O'Brien's been brought over. He's supposed to be, a traitor, and they're going to hang him. And it's a ruse, we all know. But anyway, he's got the key to this cage. Apparently, in this scene, when he first came up, he went down under the water, then came up. He banged his head on one of these beams and cut himself quite badly, apparently, and he wasn't happy about that. But anyway, so they get out. He says, hold on, Hawkman, I'll be right back. And he never is. So I don't know what happened to that Hawkman or the Lizardmen. They're probably still down there. Right, so they've got the confession, and Ming says he's going to banish her to Phrygia for a year. So she'll learn her place, basically, and then he's going to marry her off to Clytus, which is Clytus is happy about. Clytus has got to go and get Gordon and Baron now. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Zarkov and Dale are being flown to the Hawkman City. Has it got a name? It's not Bespin, is it? It's not Cloud City. Does it have a name? I can't remember. But the City of the Hawkmen, I'll call it. So they're heading there. Here it is. The Prince Vultan, Brian Blessed, being Brian Blessed, with the diverse Hawkmen, which is nice. So they brought them, and he's going to hand them over. There we go. Call the Emperor. He's going to hand them over to the Emperor. Zarkov's trying to talk him round, saying, you hate me. You were just waiting for the right time to attack. And he says, yes, and the Emperor knows that too. He needs another year to prepare. But Dale says Ming's not all powerful, all this stuff. He hasn't even managed to kill Flash. And this is where he says the infamous Gordon's alive. That's what he says. There we go. So he says, in Arboria with Prince Baron's aiding him, and he goes, Baron. Obviously don't like him, do they? Meanwhile, back in Arboria, Flash and Richard O'Brien, Fico is the character's name, have made it to the temple, and because Fico told him that there were, I know where weapons are stored in the temple, but it's all a double cross. It's just an excuse to get him in the temple. So he's got to do the initiation, because everybody who goes into the temple has got to do the test of the wood beast or die. So he's got to do that. But he says, no, I'm not doing that. So Baron puts his arm in and takes it out. So it calls him a coward. So there you go. So he's obviously like Marty McFly. Don't call him a coward. So they do that a few times. Then apparently it looks like he gets bit or stung. Oh, there we see it. Look, it's there. Oh no, it didn't. So he puts his arm in for the third time, and then we think, show it. Right. We think he gets stung. There we go. He pulls his arm out. It's a ruse. He's learning his flash. He grabs Baron's sword, tells them all to back off, or you're looking for a new prince, and he runs off into the forest. And Baron says, "Leave him. I will hunt him alone." So off they go, and then Flash immediately falls in some quicksand because it's the 80s. So there you go, quicksand. And he goes under. We think, oh, that's it, but then he pulls himself out. And then just as soon as he pulls himself out, he's engulfed by some weird forest creature with, I don't know what the hell it is. There it is. It starts taking him down. I'm sure it's got a name, but don't ask me what it is. Baron arrives, there we go, and shoots the thing. I'm going to show it. But this little laser crossbow. And he says, "This is one grave you'll not be returning from." Just as about to shoot, the hawkmen arrive and disarm Baron and say, "Vultan wants a word with you, Baron." So they take Flash and Vultan up to where the Hawkman City. I'm sure it's got a name, but whatever. Which apparently is just above. It's above Arboria, because you can jump down. We find later on you can parachute down from the Hawkman City to Arboria. Anyway, right. Meanwhile, this is Clytus's ship. It looks like a big bee or something. I don't know. But it buzzes like one. And there you go. They've scanned the Mongo, Hawkman Patrol 400 Mongo miles east. And they've got Gordon and Baron. So they're heading for the Hawkman City. It says, "Wake me when we arrive." He's supposed to be like Darth Vader, isn't he? He's the Darth Vader of this. This is the Kathleen Kennedy. Well, that Kathleen Kennedy, that's Kathleen Kennedy, that ain't it? That says the Darth Vader of this this film, basically. Right, so they brought in Baron and Flash, and Baron invokes the trial by combat rule. You know, any prince of Mongo that's captured, you know, has the right to trial by combat. And so Vultan thinks he'll fight him. You know, fight Vultan, and Vultan will beat him. But he says, "No, I want to fight Flash Gordon." And Flash says, "This place is a lunatic asylum." But he gets to meet. We find out we've got 14 hours, 9 minutes, and 20 seconds to save the Earth before the moon crashes down and destroys the Earth. Just like in that film Moonfall, which is I really enjoyed, but never mind. Anyway, so there's a big reunion with dramatic music playing by Howard Blake. And they get engaged. He basically asks her to marry him, and she accepts. And but they pulled apart, and she says, "I just got, there you go, leave us alone. I just got engaged." Then this fella bangs a gong. In my head canon, this is Roger Taylor from Queen banging the gong at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody. It could be, for all I know. I don't know. So they put them on this this little platform that's going to tilt and stuff. Oh, hello, Ottercar. Clean forest people in a dirty forest, dirty hawkmen in a high-tech city. Well, it's, you know, it's a world of opposites, isn't it? Oh, dear. As I said, it's not supposed to make sense. It's not scientifically accurate or whatever. It's all over the place, and it's amazing. Right, so they're going to fight. He's going to bang his gong again. Look, bong. Thinks he's the rank films fella. So they're going to fight on this platform with whips. But it's obviously not exciting enough for Vultan, so he goes, "Give me the remote control," and he starts tilting it. and also making spikes come up. I presume they're rubber. But, anyway, so they're tilting the platform. They're fighting away, and there you go. The spikes start coming up. He calls him a name. You see, he calls him a name. But that's the like just a typical image of Brian Blessed, isn't it? I mean, almost every pause, I suppose, you'd have him being like that. Everybody loves Brian Blessed. But anyway, so let's carry on fighting, and they're getting more, bloodied up as they keep fighting. But then they go, Flash, Flash, I love you. We only have 14 hours to save the Earth. Oh God, my brain stopped working. Baron gets Flash and tries to press his face down onto one of the spikes, and Flash says, "If you kill me, promise you'll join up with Vultan and beat Ming, defeat Ming." But he doesn't say anything, so Flash has to overpower him, and Baron goes down there and he's dangling now, and Vultan says, "Leave him, let him fall." But Flash saves him there. Take my hand, and showing humanity. There we go. Humanity. What is this humanity? So he's made a friend now. Oh, there you go. You see, he's got red blood as Baron. So they make friends now. There you go. Where you go, I follow. There's something finer in this galaxy, the Ming's law. But then, what's his face? Clytus appears in his lander. Comes down by himself, I think. Yeah, obviously he's not afraid that he'll get got, which he does, but, but never mind. So he comes in, and he orders Vultan to give up the prisoners, or the Imperial fleet will blast his kingdom to atoms. It says Zarkov will be liquidated for treachery, and then Baron's under arrest. It says Baron's under arrest. Princess Oz implicated you on a charge of high treason. And he says, Baron says, you tortured her. He says, yes, interesting girl. I think she enjoyed it. So Prince Baron punches him and says to Flash, grab him. And then he grabs him and throws him on the spikes. And there he goes, and there's the famous eyeball and tongue shot. I said, Peter Wingard wanted to pull his mask up before he died, so we could see Peter Wingard's face. But Mike Hodges says, no, we can't see your face. We can't see your face, but we'll see your eyeballs and your tongue. He didn't say that, but we did. So they've killed Clytus. So Vultan's not happy about that, as you can see. He says, you brought disaster, destruction to us all. So he orders that the hawkmen and women flee for their lives, leaving the others to their doom. And so they're all going. Then Ming's ship arrives now. I don't know what's happened to Clytus's ship. I don't know, but Ming's ships arrive now, and so they send a shuttle down to bring back Baron Zarkov and Dale, leaving Gordon there by himself. And Ming wants to talk to him, but he's brought some guards. Look, Clytus didn't take any guards, did he? But Ming's brought some guards because he's more sensible. That's why he's the emperor. So he offers Flash Gordon a kingdom to rule as his own, in the name of Ming. Obviously, Flash doesn't accept. He says, oh, well, whatever. I'll leave you here to your death. He says, he could save the Earth. He says, your moon is drifting very close now. And I think the kingdom of Mongo he'd rule actually would be Earth, I think. I think it would be Earth. Because he says, after all the earthquakes and tidal waves, they won't be the same humans. They'll be more flexible, easier for you to rule in the name of Ming. So Earth had become another kingdom of Mongo. Would they bring it into the vortex then? I don't know. Would it become shattered like all the other moons and planets? I don't know. Anyway, so obviously it doesn't. Doesn't accept, so they leave him there to his death. And off they go, and they start blasting the city. There you go. Pew pews. She calls Ming a murderer. I bet he's been called worse. There you go. So they're blasting the city, but luckily Flash finds a rocket cycle. So off he goes. He escapes the destruction of the city on the rocket cycle. He goes, "Oh, Flash, I loved you." Anyway, meanwhile, all the hawkmen are on Arboria. Remember, it's just below Arboria. So they're all in refuge on Arboria. And all his men are telling him, they were brave creatures. And Vultan's saying, if I could have done it different, I would have. But, he had his chance, didn't he? But now he's having second thoughts now. But then he gets a call from Flash on his rocket cycle. And so he tells him he's escaped and says the Ming's got Baron and Zarkov and Dale and he's going to save them, blah, blah, blah. Says, okay, we'll help you. Over to homing beam, etc. There you go. So Flash and the hawkmen are in cahoots now. Right, so meanwhile, back at the city now, Dale is being prepared for her wedding. Otakar says, they look at homing trees, but there could be a great backstory to everything in the movie. Well, yeah, there's a lot that could be said, couldn't there? Because it's a very intricate world, isn't it? So you could do great backstories and headcanon. But anyway, right. So they're bringing in. Oh, I've done that again. Bloody hell. So they're bringing in Aura. With lovely hair. That's it. Ornella Muti. I'm madly in love with her. I bet she still looks lovely today as well. I don't know. Yes, headcanon's amazing. Hang on, where are we? Imperial Guards there from back Star Wars style. Yeah, a little bit, weren't they? I love headcanon. Yeah, it's cool. So anyway, Aura and Dale have a little, cat fight, hitting each other with pillows and stuff. And then Aura says, my mind's changed. And she's crying. So he says, if tears wouldn't come from my eyes if my heart hadn't changed and all that. So we learn that she's a goodie now. There we go. She still doesn't trust her. Aura gives Dale a deadly poison to give to Ming because he drinks an elixir before he makes love. So she pops that in, it'll kill him. And she won't do it, will Dale? She says, I promised I'd try and be a good wife if he spared Zarkov and Baron. But Aura says, he's never kept a promise in his life. He says, well, that's not my fault. That's what makes us better than you. Nah. Right, so anyway, this she arrives again. She's got a name, but I can't remember what it is. I can't remember. Let's have a look. See if it tells us. No, it doesn't say. I've seen a name somewhere on something, but I can't remember what it is. There's no point looking on IMDb because I'll be here all bloody night. Never mind. Anyway, right. So she's got to be prepared for her wedding. Her joyous time has come. So they're going to get her ready for her. Getting married. Right, so Flash is on his rocket cycle heading towards the city. And then this fella that we all know from the Queen song, the video for Flash, pops up. There we go. Flash Gordon approaching, this cool voice. I don't know if it's his actual voice. I don't know. But so they open fire, all weapons. So he turns around and heads off because it's, they want him to follow. They want the rocket ship to follow. So send dispatch War Rocket Ajax to bring back his body. So that's where they come. There's War Rocket Ajax in pursuit, charge the boosters and all that. And this captain, cool, he's got a great gap in his teeth. It just looks cool. Here he is. Come on. Show me a gap in your teeth. He's just got a great face. He does. I got a gap in his teeth. Fire! Oh dear. So anyway, so he's gone into a cloud now. By the way, it flew into a cloud. Did Flash, and it's come out the other side, and all the hawkmen are there waiting at the other side of the cloud. It's obviously they don't have sensors or anything, obviously, or infrared or whatever. They can't see through the cloud. They've all this amazing technology, but they haven't got a radar or anything. So they're going to wait for the rocket ship to come through. They're going to try and electrify the cloud, thinking he's still in there. Charge capacitors to electrify cloud, and prepare Skynets to catch Gordon's body, whatever the Skynet is. Apart from Terminator. But there you go. But obviously that doesn't work. So they said, okay, we'll go in. So they go in and they come through with the rocket ship. So the battle begins. So more cool Queen music. I think the first bit's by Roger Taylor, I think. And then when the guitar starts, that's the Brian May part. So anyway, the battle begins. They attack the Ajax. So they're all repelling borders and all that. So they're flying down and they're all shooting and stuff. And getting killed. Lots of hawkmen die. Oh, sorry, Ottercat, I didn't see that. What she want with his body? I don't know. Well, just to prove that he's dead, I suppose. But anyway. So hawkmen are firing. I love the lasers and stuff in this, by the way. A lot of the effects are ropey like that, but the laser bolts and stuff, they all look cool in this film. Right. So anyway, yeah. So he's been hit as is it Biro, whatever he's called, is setting some sort of charge, but he's been clipped. So Flash has gone in to save him, and there you go, more cool laser bolts. And there's Vultan's there. He's landed now on the ship. So they're getting aboard the ship now, working their way through, and they take the bridge, kill the captain and all that, take control of the ship. So now they're going to fly it to Mingo City. And then we get Brian May again on guitar doing the wedding march. Behold the face of your empress to be. And also telling you for their enjoyment, they'll be broadcasting the execution of the traitors Barin and Zarkov. Meanwhile, guards are taking Aura to the wedding because she'll have to attend, be forced to attend. But she tricks them. She drops her cape on the floor and says, "Pick that up." And as it bends down, she stabs it with some big needles or whatever. Anyway, who wrote "Long Live Flash" there? By the way, it says "Long Live Flash." Who wrote that? And he hasn't been there 5 minutes, has he? But somebody's written that. Zarkov and Barin are chained up and blindfolded as well. Anyway, Aura comes in and there you go. She shoots the scanner, the camera, and frees them. And she says scanner malfunction, blah blah blah. But she can't get through the door's locked now. They've changed the codes, but Zarkov gets round that because he knows it was one of the numbers of the Zeman series, whatever. There you go, Zeman series. Whatever they are, I've no idea. I'm not into arithmetic. Right, so they're flying the rocket towards Mingo City. And all the hawkmen are going to fly out and follow him in. And he says, come on, Flash. It's time to get out. And Flash says, I can't. The rocket cycle's gone. And Vultan says, well, I'll carry you. It says, no, I can't. I've got to, stay here and pilot this thing to make sure it gets there. And that's how long Earth has in minutes and seconds. I don't know how Flash has been keeping count. I don't know, but never mind. It doesn't matter. With 3 minutes left to save the Earth. I don't know exactly how that happens. I mean, what happens? But if the moon's must be almost touching the Earth now. So, but if they kill Ming, does it transport away and like just beam immediately back to where it should be. I don't know. I think the Earth's done for. Which is probably why they don't go back at the end. Anyway, so what the hell was that? I think cats outside fighting. Anyway, so they've got to get to the city and they're going to smash in. There's a lightning field around the city. It's the force field, and when the rocket smashes into it, it'll blow it out, and the hawkmen fly right in, and they realise that the wedding started. So there's Dale being brought there to the wedding. This is this fella telling General Carla that the rocket Ajax is returning, but it's not answering its hails or whatever. So she tells him to open fire, all weapons. I think that's that bit. And she tells the guests that the city's weapons are being fired in honor of the emperor's wedding, so they don't panic. Right, so there you go. It's time to bail out, but he can't because they'll never make it with nobody at the wheel. One life for billions and all that. So it must be a hell of a planet you people are from. You mean you people? Right, look at that's awful. That box round that. Terrible, isn't it? It's 1980. Give it a break. Anyway, so they're heading down with the hawkmen behind, still getting killed. As wonder there's any left. There you go. Best line of the film. Freeze, you bloody bastards. But good old Timothy Dalton. I think this, I think the Bond producers probably saw him in this and thought he'll be a good Bond one day. And he was, 7 years later? I think it was 1987, wasn't it, when he did Living Daylights. Anyway, so she won't tell them the codes or whatever to lower the lightning field. So he says, grab an imager from one of those agents. There we go. And as he grabs the imager, obviously you're not supposed to do that because it turns them all off. They all collapse in a puff of smoke. And then Carla comes round with a flamethrower, so they shoot her. I think we've missed that bit, haven't we? I think we've missed that bit. There we go. She's got a flamethrower ring. They've got rings that do everything in this, haven't they? They've got rings that make people dance, rings that unlock doors, and the flamethrower ring. That's the ultimate one, isn't it? Anyway, so she's dead now. Anyway, so they've got to head for the where the lightning field is controlled from. So there you go. That's where he's heading. I think that's where he's heading. I don't know. I can't remember. But he's going and shooting people along the way. Is Baron. All right. So the wedding ceremony is underway, and they're saying, "You promise to use her as you will, not to blast her into space, until such time as you grow weary of her." Says, "I do." By the way, this is the fella that is it Delbert O'Grady? I think in The Shining. And he's in something else as well. That's escaping me. Oh, he's in Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. He plays the British officer. You know, when they're having dinner with the monkey brains and all that. He plays the British officer there. So that's that. Don't ask me the name of the actor. I can't remember. But that's what he's been in. So they're getting married. And Ming says, "I do." But Dale says, in an act of defiance, "I do not." Got 1 minute 48 left. And the rockets, the Ajax is still on its way. Nearly lose the ring. And Flash says, "Oh, what a damn shame." And here we go. Now he shoots the. That's it. Baron shoots the lightning field thing, and so it comes down to the lightning field. Pardon me. But the Ajax has a unobstructed approach to the throne room, whatever it is. I don't know. Here it comes. So they're all running for their lives, and except for him. Doesn't he have people that are supposed to be protecting him, you know, like Secret Service? Anyway. Love that alien marriage rituals are still the same. Yes, they even have the same music. Oh dear. And here we go. There we go. Ming gets skewered by the Ajax. There he is. There we go. So Flash jumps out, picks up a sword. Still the clock's counting down. Ming's fading now, and his ring consumes him, so to speak. It disappears in a not a puff of smoke, but in a red whatever. There you go. It disappears. Look, it disappears like that, and the ring drops to the floor. That's it. They've won, and this that gold robot floating thing appears and says, "Hail, Flash! You've saved your Earth." Don't ask me how. I don't know, but he has. That's when he does, "Yay!" Well, here we go. Yay! I think that's on the back of the album, isn't it? The Queen album. And there we go. So everybody's friends now. Mongo is a democratic sort of, but not really. It's all nice now. But Baron's now the king of Mongo, and so they're all happy. They put Vulcan in charge of their armies, and obviously Flash and Dale and Zarkov are stuck there for the time being. But Dale says, you know, it's a little too quiet round here for her. She wants to go home. I don't know how they will. I suppose they can always give them a rocket ship. They're an advanced society, but I think Earth's done for. But never mind. But one last thing, the Hawkmen do a thanks Flash in the sky. There we go. Thanks, Flash. You know, they've got the same alphabet as us, even though they're aliens. Never mind. And that's it. That's the end. Oh, the end. Because somebody picked up the ring. Ming's ring. I know it rhymes. And then we get a cool Queen music at the end. The Hero. And it's an amazing film. And obviously, they never did a sequel. They never did a sequel. Anyway, what's Ottercar saying? It's good to see the movie as stills without music to set tone. I appreciate all the detail I don't normally see. It's a condensed story, but watches so well. Imagine a Dune treatment. Dear. I'd say the 1984 Dune. I wouldn't mind doing that. I like that one. Crikey. But I'm glad you like it. Going through it this way, I know I play little snippets and stuff, but anyway. So thank you. I suppose it's closer to Game of Thrones. Dune, well, Dune is, isn't it? Yeah. But if somebody did a serious Flash Gordon, which I'm sure they were going to, I'm sure there were a plan to do a new Flash Gordon that were in a more serious tone. You know, you could say that'd be a lot like Game of Thrones with all the intrigue between all the different planets and moons or kingdoms of Mongo or whatever. Anyway. So why do you dislike Captain Proton, if I may ask? Well, because that's different, isn't it? That's part of Voyager. That's intruding on Voyager. It's not its own thing. I don't dislike Captain Proton. It's just, I don't think much of it, Sorry. Picking me fingernails awkwardly. Anyway. But that's the end of Flash Gordon. They never did a sequel. They tricked me. I remember a few years after, or maybe a year or two afterwards, there was a listing for the TV here in the UK, and like a Flash Gordon film. They were going to come on TV, but it wasn't this one. It was called something else. I can't remember what the title of it was. But the description in the TV listing, in the TV guide, TV Times or whatever it was, I think it was on over Christmas because that's the only time my family ever bought the TV newspapers. But anyway, I think, oh, they've done a sequel to it, and it's on the TV, and because it was describing like what happened after this. You know, said the Earth had been saved by Flash Gordon and all that. But it wasn't. It was something totally different. I think it was a cartoon. Actually, I think it was an animated thing. I did watch it. It was okay. So when you're doing June, I don't know. I might get round to it because I do like the David Lynch June. I'm not going to do the new one. You know, the new one's fine, but you know, it doesn't have the David Lynch weirdness to it, does it? When they first made CBS All Access, I was trying to get them to make a full-fledged Captain Proton show. Didn't they listen to you? Though they should have done. And what did you think of the Flash Gordon show from 2007? I think I only saw the first episode. I think it didn't click with me. My brother loved it, but I didn't really get into it. But never mind. Did it last very long? I don't know. Did it last just one season, or did it get another 2 seasons, or what? I don't know. But anyway, there's a Flash Gordon animated show from 1979. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, maybe it could have been that. I can't remember what it was called. Can't remember. But it tricked me. The TV listing tricked me into thinking it was going to be. Oh, there's a name from Star Wars. I've just noticed that. Marketing director Charlie Lippincott. He was the original Star Wars marketing director, wasn't he? Just jumped out at me there. Charles Lippincott. He did the original Star Wars marketing, didn't he, way back in 76 and 77. Anyway. Right. So we'll leave it there. I'll get rid of that. Where am I? Right. So we'll leave it there. That's it. Flash Gordon is an amazing film. I love it. I can watch it over and over again. It's always fun. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's fun. Don't take it seriously. You know, if people say it's stupid for not understanding it because it's supposed to be, it's just fun, isn't it? And I think the director, Mike Hodges, said he had a lot of fun. He said it was hard work making the film. He said he had a lot of fun making the film. And he said he didn't have to worry about things on this film. He says a lot of his films he's made, he's had to worry about budgets and stuff like that, and money, and where things are coming from for this film. But he said in this one, he didn't have to worry about that because that were all Dino De Laurentiis's problem. So he just made his film. He got whatever money he wanted for it, and he had a lot of fun making it. And we had a lot of fun watching it because it's an amazing film. So we'll leave it there. Right. So next time, what we're doing next? What day is it? It's Monday, isn't it? So Wednesday is my news stream. Next Friday is Appointment with Fear, which I haven't decided what I'm doing yet, and I haven't decided what next week's Magnificent Monday is. Tell you I'm slacking. Tomorrow I'm recording a video for my Patreon. As I said at the beginning, I'm doing Killers from Space, Peter Graves. It's the one with the aliens with like big googly eyes. It's that one. I've never seen it, so it'll be a reaction as I'm watching it. But that's on my Patreon. So if you want to watch that, you'll have to sign up. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Windgrace and Ottercar. Thanks for joining in. I'm glad you enjoyed looking at Flash Gordon. I enjoy looking. I don't enjoy looking at Flash Gordon. I enjoy looking at Dale Arden and Princess Aura and all the other lovely ladies. And thank you, Archmage Frey, that mysterious man on Twitch. I was never in the same room as Windgrace. Thanks for joining in. Right, so we'll leave it there. Yes, take care, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching wherever you are. Look after each other. And until next time, hang on, where are we? Right. Until next time, I'll see you.